This morning, we're in the Marquee Theatre on the P&O Pacific Encounter, waiting for our ship-booked shore tour. Let's tell you about where we're going.
Hi, we are Rob and Ali, sharing with you our passion of all things cruise and travel.
So we've arrived in Noumea, New Caledonia, and we have booked a ship shore tour today, this
You're going
morning.
to say it all over again, aren't you? I was impressed for the first time.
Actually, I'm just going to call it a shore tour now. Sooner or later, I'm going to get it wrong. So we're going kayaking. We like a little bit of adventure sometimes, so we've booked the tour to go to kayaking out to Sainte Marie Island. We queued up a few minutes ago to get our tickets. This is what happened.
Shore tour meeting point, it was deck 7 at the back in the Marquee, and they have a little desk on the left-hand side. On the left-hand side here. You hand in your details about which tour, and they'll give you a sticker, and then they'll call out the numbers.
There was a bit of a queue there, but it went really quick, and you go up there, you don't need your ticket at that stage, you just give them your cabin number and they give you a little sticker depending on your group. So we got our stickers for our kayak tour.
They're numbered and they'll call out the numbers. They'll ask you to sit in the marquee in the theatre, and they'll call out each group number to get off, so that it's not chaos when we're getting off. And Robert proudly puts his number on his chest and goes, "Come in, number 9. And I went, "Don't know about you, see you, Robert, mine's number 6.
To be fair, I didn't have my glasses on, so it just looks like I thought the writing was at the bottom, and it makes sense to me.
We already had breakfast up in the Oasis, so we went to the pantry. We got a nice table at the Oasis. It was nice and quiet this morning, easy to get a table. The views aren't the best because it is a port.
We're in the industrial port.
Yes. But if you look beyond the cranes and the kind of the trucks and things, you will see the beautiful scenery. In the distance, You'll see that.
Actually, that's a good point. It's an industrial port and it is a dock, but you do still need to book tender tickets. Now, this is not a tender boat, this is a tender bus. Because we're in the industrial port, you're not allowed to walk around. Nobody can walk around. So in order to get from the ship into the city, you have to go on the bus, and you book the tender tickets or the bus tickets, the shuttle tickets, in the same way as you would book a tender tickets if you're going over to the island.
Do it on your app.
Do it on the app or get a paper ticket from guest services.
But they are in time slots, so the longer you leave it before you book, the later you will be getting off the ship.
Absolutely.
And like yesterday, things got a little bit delayed, and so some people didn't get off until really quite late in the afternoon. So if you want to do a lot, make sure that you book that tender ticket early in the trip, as early as you can, to get off.
Absolutely.
If you don't book it, you can get off, but you will have to wait until everybody else with tickets has got off, and then it'll be your turn. Maybe you just want a little bit of a wander around and you're not bothered about getting off, so just leave it until later on in the late morning or the early afternoon.
Yeah. So it's 8 o'clock. It's an early one for us, especially on a holiday. So we have to get up and have breakfast. Our tour lasts, I think, about 3 hours. And then we'll come back to the ship. We'll get changed. We'll get some things. And I think we'll go out and have a look in the city.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're waiting now for our number to be called, our number 9. And
no, it's number 6. He's determined to go on this number 9 trip. I don't know who's on number 9 or
there
what
isn't,
number 9
there isn't
is.
actually a number 9 trip, so I'm safe. That's okay.
It's cheese and wine, maybe is number 9.
Here I am trying to sneak away on it. Cheese and wine at 8 o'clock in the morning. No, that's we're waiting for our numbers to be called, and then we will be off. All right, our number has been called, and away we go.
It's now 8:30, but it didn't feel like a long wait, I have to say.
Al is completing the waiver to say if we hurt ourselves, then it's our own responsibility. I assume that's what it says. Again, I can't read it. I haven't got my glasses on.
Just ask us for your name, the ship name, your date of birth, the cabin number, the departure time, and can you swim?
We have been told where we're going to go, how long it's going to be, what we're going to do, and we've been given our life jackets, which we've got on. So Al's got a lovely blue purple one.
And I've got my new little they're like trainers and reach shoes all in one, which are very, very comfortable.
White, really? They're not going to stay white very long, are they? I've got a lovely orange fluorescent life jacket. Okay, we've had our briefing as to where we are going to go. We're now picking our kayaks. We are two, so Al and I are in the same kayak. I'm just going to give you a pan around here of, oh, doggy's taking a liking to Al, of the water. This is absolutely beautiful, absolutely gorgeous. We're going out to this little blue dinghy, and then we will go from there over to the island. I'm thinking that we might go over to this beach over here.
Sail away, cross the water, set the pace, then discover every ocean, every sea, forever and a day for you and me.
We set up about 9:30. We just arrived a few minutes ago. It's 10 o'clock, so that's about a half-hour paddle. And I thought this was the whole group, to be honest with you. But as we flip the camera around now, there are some people coming up behind. So it looks like we may have been in the kayak equivalent of the peloton. We have kayaked from over the other side of this rock behind me to this absolutely beautiful little bay here with some sand. We've got all the kayaks all lined up.
That was exhilarating. I guess that's one word for it.
That is one word for it.
Bloody hard work.
Hard work's another. It was against the wind. It is really hard work with two of you in a kayak against the wind. And
I think being on a cruise, you see, we're all sloppy and weak, and this is what we needed to do. Definitely get the blood pumping and the lungs full of lovely sea air.
yeah, we're not fit by any stretch of the imagination, but I like to think that we've got a reasonable level of fitness, and it was hard for us. So maybe have a think about this if you're thinking about doing this tour. We've got the wind behind us on the way back, so it should be easy.
Oh, we should be like speedboats on the way back. Oh, no excuse whatsoever to get some wonderful footage for you.
Yeah.
It was, I had it. I pressed all the buttons. I've got one of these, the GoPro on the necklace. Pressed all the buttons. I think I've gone on triple hypo speed or something. Goodness knows what we've ended up with.
We'll have a good laugh watching it though.
The water is absolutely beautiful. It's warm, it's clear, it's turquoise, and look at the sky. It is absolutely beautiful.
It's a beautiful day.
Let's take you on a little tour around this little bit of the beach that we've come up, and give you a look at the views that we've got here. Absolutely spectacular.
It is beautiful. So this is Saint-Marie Island off the coast of Noumea. Well, we got through here, then a little walkaway through to the other side of this bay. Looks like we've got a shingle beach on the other side.
The whole thing is coral. Look at that. Wow. Wow. Do you know, I don't think I've ever seen a whole beach that is completely coral. It's quite weird. It's like bones.
They look a little bit like bones as well. This looks a little bit more sheltered than our beach.
Oh, wow.
Less waves.
Oh, isn't that just spectacular? That is absolutely beautiful. I wish they'd extended this tour a little bit and done just like a beach barbecue or something. Just to stay a little bit longer. It's absolutely beautiful. So Robert's making his way in the water. What's the water like, darling? Oh, is it? We'll soon see how quickly he gets in, whether it's warm or not. Oh, actually, are you doing that? Yeah. Is he doing the holding his breath? Is he gonna go in? Wow, wow, oh my God, is she gonna come off? Oh, oh, oh. Wow! That looks like fun. I don't think I could hold on to that. I'm gonna go and join Robert now. Minding our own business on the beach.
As you do.
And it's like seeing the enemy approaching. Look at this. There we have. We think it's a carnival ship.
It looks like Carnival Splendor. It's got the whale tail. It's not Luminosa.
Just came round the corner. We're going to go and have a little paddle before we set off in the canoe.
Okay, we are having a nice little paddle around on our own now after a swim in the sea. And we're going a bit far out here. We better start going back because we'll miss them shouting us for the return journey. Return paddle. So everybody looks like they're getting back in their kayaks now. So we're going to have a paddle back. We've taken shelter under these little mangroves here, just out of the sun for 5 minutes. We have just set off back, and already I can feel that we're drifting with the wind. This is going to be a lot easier paddle going backwards. Not going backwards, going back to Noumea. I've gone in the back again. So that I can direct her and sort of correct her on her technique. The wind's built up a little bit here now. It wasn't quite as easy paddling back as we thought it would be, actually, and we kept drifting over it, sort of like drifting to and winding to the side. But this is where we've come back from, over here. We were on the other side of where this sandy bay here is, so round that corner to the right of where I guess my finger is, hopefully. If not, I'll put an arrow in there. And we've paddled back across here. The kayaks are away. We're waiting for the bus to go back to the port now. We can't stop off in the town. We have to go back to the port, so that's fine. We'll get back on the ship. We'll clean off. We'll dry off, and then we may have a bit of lunch on the ship, or we may go into town and have some lunch. We'll work it out when we get back. We are back on board now after our kayaking tour. Quick turnaround because we want to get out into the city and go and have a look a little bit at the city. Maybe find the patisserie.
I just need to wash some of that salt.
Oh, absolutely.
Off. We just need to wash that off our faces. Yeah. Really, that's the worst. So we're going to do it's a critique of the tour rather than a criticism. Let's put it that way. It was $115 each. I don't feel that we have been overcharged for our morning experience. However, what we would say
as far as short tours are concerned, that's pretty much sort of that's sort of mid-range, isn't it, price? There's not a lot that's a lot cheaper.
No.
There's the do-it-yourself ones that are cheaper, and then some of them are a lot more. 115, yeah, we didn't really have to think twice about it, did we?
No, and I would come back and say I don't feel as though I have been robbed of $115. However, our critique of it was very much kayak hire rather than a tour. I think it's a stretch to say that was a tour of any sort. So it was a little minibus, nice and comfortable little minibus, air conditioned, but we were told when we got on there that the driver did not speak English, not to ask her any questions, and so you don't get a guide on or any information at all on your way out to where the kayaks were. So that was about a 15-20 minute drive. So that was pretty much just in silence, and you just kind of have a look out the window yourself. A lot of that was through the city, which I'm afraid was plagued by graffiti for a lot of it, which is very sad to see all that. Two guys running the operation, really pleasant and nice, a few little instructions, and then they basically just point the way and they go, just all off we went. We arrived on the sandy beach, which we'll show you, and then we had about half an hour on there, which was lovely, but it felt then very much as though you were hanging around. They didn't give you any information whatsoever. They didn't give a little tour in the kayaks. It was pretty much you kayaked yourself from A to B. And we think that they could have made so much more.
Yeah, I think it was a little bit of a missed opportunity. We still don't know what Sainte Marie Island is, what it was named after, presumably St. Mary.
Any of the wildlife, any of the flora and fauna. We don't know anything about the people, and it would have been nice just to have had a leisurely kayak around where the mangroves were, where the little inlets were, and we've done lots of kayak tours, and we've always thoroughly enjoyed them and had a lot more of a tour and a guide. So we would say that was very much just your transport and kayak hire. And then when we got back to the other side, after we'd gone back, there was no shelter or anything, and there was nowhere, no table. They hadn't even bothered putting a table up where you could put your stuff, so everything just went on the floor in the car park while you kind of struggled to get a little bit dry and take your wet shoes off and things. So it was as basic as you could possibly get it. So I would say the people were, they were pleasant, the driver was pleasant, the guys were pleasant.
Oh,
not a criticism.
no, really enjoyed it. Really enjoyed it.
The views, honestly, it's breathtaking. Anyway, that was our critique of that particular tour.
And absolutely, thoroughly enjoyed it. We wouldn't sort of...
don't want to put you
We're
off.
not saying don't do the... Just be aware that it's just the kayak, that you're not going to learn any information about the area on this tour. We're just going to go for a beautiful morning out kayaking. Yeah, anyway, the wind's getting up a little bit here up on the deck, and Alback's given me a challenge to try and sort of correct the audio, so this might be a bit of a challenge. Anyway, let's go and get cleaned up, and then we can go out and have a look at the city.
And the pastry, everybody keeps telling us
Patisserie,
to find
yeah.
the patisserie.
Absolutely, it's supposed to be
So-
fabulous, so let's see if we can find the patisserie and have some croissants or cakes. Okay, Noumea part 2. We've got off, we've got cleaned up, we've got changed, and we're getting back off the ship, and we're going to explore Noumea city on our own. But we need to get a shuttle bus into town because we're in the industrial port, as we've said earlier. There she is. Always
There
a
she
skater
is.
on the act. So we need to get a shuttle bus into town. We're past the time when you need a ticket, so we'll just be able to sort of wait and hop on one. They go every few minutes. It's only about 4 minutes, I think, to the old port, the old terminal.
I said to Robert, they always recommend that you don't go out in ports looking like a tourist.
Why not? Do we look touristy?
We couldn't look more touristy if we tried.
We could put a sign on our head. I am a tourist. Anyway, let's go and see if we can get this shuttle bus.
The complimentary shuttle bus from your cruise ship will bring you to the original cruise terminal. You'll be disappointed if you think that shuttle bus is going to take you somewhere like a village. But from here, there's a few kind of market stalls up above here. There's rest facilities, the restroom facilities, but also you can pick up some private tours from here, as well as some taxis. So they've got turtle tours and island tours, as well as the hop-on, hop-off bus. And also the famous choo-choo train stops here as well. There's a little cafe bar here, and you can get some lovely views out here, but you still get the port. It's well worth getting a tour or getting a taxi and seeing some of the beautiful side of this island away from where the cruise ship stops. Inside the terminal, this is the original cruise terminal where the bus drops you off. There is also the number 1 currency exchange. I don't know whether they've got a number 2 or a number 3, but but there's your number 1.
It might mean
currency.
it's the best.
I think so. We're going to just have a little walk along the front, and we're just going to use our legs for a little bit. I think that's what we need. Get a little bit of fresh air.
The shuttle bus drops you off in front of the terminal, which is somewhere around about here. Where you see that post there, that's the old terminal building. So if you look to the left, if you've got your hop-on, hop-off bus tickets, and you come to the left as you look at it from the road, here is your hop-on, hop-off bus terminal. There's a couple of buses here already. I'm not sure that these have been used because there's one that's just gone. Ordinarily they're like these green ones that we can see down here, the hop-on, hop-off bus. It goes all the way along the Esplanade with various places, and Savate, Lemon Bay, down to the aquarium and back again. I think I've mentioned before though, just be aware of how full they are and don't leave it till the last one necessarily, because we've been in a situation before where we had to wait 2 or 3 buses to actually get on one because they were full. And you do not want to miss that last shuttle back to the ship. The thing about Noumea is there is a way to get back home from Noumea. So there is more chance that the ship will leave if you're not back in time than if it was, say, the uninhabited Mystery Island. Anyway, we are going to have a walk along the seafront here and see what we can discover. We walked down to the marina. We thought maybe we could have a look around the marina, have a look at the beach or the scenery from there. But you can't really access it, so There's nothing really more to see down here. We've decided that we'll probably not waste our time walking any further because we're not sure how far before we get to somewhere. So we're going to go back now and have a look and think about whether it's worthwhile hopping on the hop-on, hop-off bus and having a look down at Lemon Bay.
So we were able to pay by card, so we didn't have to exchange any money, which is really useful. So Robert's just paying by card here.
You can see air or buses.
Okay.
The last pickup are 3:30.
Okay. Last pickup from
Lemon Bay.
From Lemon Bay?
Yes.
Okay, 3:30. Thank you.
Thank you. So how often did you say the buses came?
Every 20 minutes. So every 20 minutes, and the last one he said from Lemon Bay was 3:30. Now they give you these wristbands to put on. So put the wristbands on. I've got to say, I am feeling a little nervous about this because, as I said, the last time we were here, 3 full buses before we could get on one, and I think it was probably the last one that we could have taken to make it back to the ship.
I think the thing is as well, it's not operated by the cruise ship. So although the buses going from the terminal back to the cruise ship are cruise operated, and they're going to make sure that they pick everybody up from here, you have to get here to ensure that you get back on the ship. So I think probably, yeah, let's just do it. Let's get off, have a little look round, but we'll give ourselves plenty of time to get back. And the weather looks like it's changing as well.
What time did you say the last bus
3:30.
The last bus back to the ship
was 4:30.
4:30. Okay. All
but
right.
yeah, we don't want to leave it any later than
No.
that.
No. Now, the bus system gets a little bit confusing. There's no indication on this bus that it's a hop-on, hop-off bus. It's just come in as a private tour, and now it's a hop-on, hop-off bus. I asked the chap when we bought the tickets if there was a sign at all the stops, there's a big sign saying hop-on, hop-off. He said no. So we'll work it out as we go along, I suppose, really. So
Just follow the tourists. Wherever there's a group of tourists, let's just stand there and hope for the best.
Yeah, so we've got on this bus now anyway, and it's lovely air conditioning. Here we go. It's lovely air conditioning. So we'll head off. The plan is to maybe go down the whole way and then on the way stay on, and on the way back maybe hop off at Lemon Bay.
Then we'll hop off. So we'll do the whole thing first, and then we'll
maybe grab a drink or something at Lemon Bay.
Yes.
Okay.
One of the stops on the hop-on, hop-off bus is McDonald's. That is actually one of the highlights, along with the museum and some of the places, McDonald's.
So as we continue the drive, we've been about 5 minutes into it now, and we're going through one of the little harbours with all the boats in the harbour there. This is beautiful. The clouds have come over a little bit, but well, if you've got a boat, what a brilliant place to come and sort of just anchor up and spend a few days here. We must be coming up to our first stop shortly, I think. Sure enough, just round the corner we've come to our first stop, which is the shopping mall. Nobody's getting off here. Everybody wants to go down to the beach or the aquarium, I think. Our second stop is Lemon Bay. There are a few people getting on here. I think they're going further down, or maybe they're just doing the round trip back to the ship. There are 2 stops at Lemon Bay. At the moment people are getting on, so I can't actually do a bit of a pan, but give me a second and I'll do a pan. In between the 2 Lemon Bay stops are the restaurants and cafes. This is what the chap told me when we bought the tickets, is if we want restaurants and cafes and bars, in between the 2 stops of Lemon Bay are the place to go. See, this is where it gets confusing. There are supposed to be 2 Lemon Bay stops, but we've only had 1 Lemon Bay stop. We're now at Aquarium. So I don't know what happened to the second Lemon Bay stop, and the chap said it stops at all the stops, so clearly we've missed one. This is why I get nervous about taking the hop-on, hop-off bus in Noumea. And it's filling up now, and it will fill up on the way back. I'm thinking we might just stay on this all the way round.
I think so.
Yeah, because
there's nothing really, I wouldn't say there's anything here that looks beautiful, like a lovely beach and lovely bars. It's all okay, but it's not grabbing me enough to say get off. I know that sounds awful, but it just isn't. Lots of building work going on and cranes in the distance.
Yeah, you get
happy
that.
To stay on.
I guess you get that anyway, but the thing is, it's just the uncertainty of the whole hop-on, hop-off bus thing that sort of makes me nervous, especially as it's going up to 2 o'clock. The last one's 3:30. We don't want to miss the ship. Having said that, there is some absolutely beautiful scenery around here. Look at that island out there. I'll try and crop this in a little bit so you don't get all parts of the bus. But the water looks beautiful, and around looks beautiful as well. Here's our next stop coming up, I think. And now we're at the aquarium stop. This is the end of the line. So it has been around, I think around about 20 minutes, just looking at my clock. Actually, we'll time it on the way back. This is the end of the line. This is where it turns around and then goes back again. And the bus is fairly full. I think this will be missing people out on the way back. We'll see.
My assessment of that was, that's rubbish. It's like 5 minutes on a bus, and then we're going
It's about
back.
20.
We're going backwards again, but there's nothing really to see. I don't know. I'm staggered that I thought we could go on it a few times and have a lovely look at the water on one side and then all the shops and things on the other. It just feels like a 5-minute round trip, and I'll be getting off. I'm not doing that again.
We just stopped at Lemon Bay again, and I think we've worked it out. There are 2 stops at Lemon Bay, but it doesn't stop at both. It stops at one going one way and then one going the other way. That's the way it seems to be, anyway. And here we are back at the terminal. So that took, just under 20 minutes to do a full round trip.
With the sea behind us and the old cruise terminal here to the left, right in front.
Hang on 1 second. Hold that thought.
There's a road either side of the supermarket. On the right-hand side is the famous patisserie that everybody tells you about and can never find, but it's literally down the right-hand side. And on the left-hand side is the chemist if you need that.
Here in the patisserie, we've got some ham croissants, some mini burgers and hot dogs. 200 French francs. I think that's probably around about $3 Australian. And then we've got some cakes further down here as well. Actually, it smells absolutely delicious in here. Chocolate bread, croissants.
Breads look delicious.
We stopped in at that patisserie, and there were a whole heap of items there to buy. So Al got some, I think they were coconut buns or something, I think. Some kind of coconut.
Absolutely beautiful. It just seems a shame to be standing here eating them, but I'm dumb that we can take them back on the ship, so I'm just going to have to stuff them all in my face. What a hardship. Delicious. We have the best view here. We are under the sails here. We've got a little bit of shade. We've got ourselves a nice table and chairs. We can look out here to where all the yachts are, and we have a feast. So we went to the bakery, we got ourselves some lovely crusty bread. Would you like to break the bread for us, Robert? Look at that.
Oh, it's like a rye bread.
Oh, beautiful. Lovely wholemeal bread. Now the supermarket, tell us about the supermarket.
It's huge, it's massive, and it's got rows and rows and rows and rows of things. And down one side is the delicatessen with all the cheeses and the hams and everything. And I got it.
Had salads. Do you know, it was like a giant delicatessen. Absolutely magnificent.
It was.
Beautiful,
Heaps.
spotless.
Heaps and heaps. So I got some brie. This is about 100 grams of brie, and then I got some of this ham, this plain dried ham. I'm not sure quite what it was. It was called jambon blanc, which I think is just sort of like a plain ham. Anyway, unfortunately, my French is not as good as it used to be when I was at school, but it's a dried ham, like a prosciutto style. I put that there. We got 3 slices of that, which was 50 grams or so of that. As I said, about 100 grams of the brie.
I got a banana. The tomatoes looked absolutely wonderful. Great big beef tomatoes, which I love.
We have
but
no
salt
cutlery.
and pepper, so we're just
no
going
cutlery.
to dive in with our fingers. We got some plant-based spread as well, so we're just going to dive in and just enjoy this here with this beautiful view.
So all of this together, the ham, the cheese, the bread, banana spread, and the drink, that cost probably round about just under 20 Australian dollars by the time we've done the conversions. But we also called in at the patisserie. and Alison treated herself to some coconut buns. Now, she had one of these early. She snuck one earlier. She said it was so good that we went back.
We've got a little disagreement. I call these, where are they? There we go. They are, to me, coconut macaroons. But I don't know what a macaroon is. I know the macaroons are normally the little
like
almond
spaceship
macaroons.
style.
The little spaceship ones, yeah, that are sandwiched in between. But to me, that's what I call a coconut macaroon. Anyway, I have snuck one already, and it was delicious.
This is a unique variation on banana bread. I suppose it's got the same elements, but bananas on bread.
So Robert's got his cheese and his ham, and I have my banana on bread. It may be simple, but looking at this view and looking at the sea and the hills in the distance and the yachts and the palm trees, it's just beautiful. What more would you need? Beautiful. Our recommendation for a day out, especially if you were a family, I think, as well, and you didn't want to spend a lot on a day out, would be to get that hop on, hop off bus and to go and have a picnic in maybe somewhere like Lemon Bay. Actually, a little bit further up from Lemon Bay, there was a beautiful
The
bay.
aquarium stop, just past the aquarium stop, yeah.
Yes, the bus veers off, but if you get off there at the aquarium and walk up, there's a beautiful another bay, isn't there? Just a short walk away.
Yep.
So the supermarket, as we said, was superb. The patisserie, beautiful. So you just make yourself up a picnic.
Oh yeah, get a. You can go to the patisserie, get a big sort of loaf of bread, not a loaf of bread, like a baguette. That's the one. Go into the supermarket, get some ham, cheese, whatever, those sort of things. Packets of chips, maybe a bottle of wine, whatever you fancy, and hop on over to Lemon Bay or the aquarium, and I reckon that'll be a beautiful day.
Oh, yes, absolutely lovely. And as you can see here, we're just by the terminal, the old terminal, where the coach will drop you off from the cruise ship. This is beautiful here. This is
it's beautiful. Look behind.
It's late afternoon. The sun is going down.
There we go.
That is probably the best time of day to enjoy it here.
Absolutely.
Lovely.
You know, so if you don't fancy doing anything in Noumea, there is an alternative where you don't have to do a tour, you don't have to stay in the city, and it would be, especially as you say, in the nice weather, it would be a beautiful day out.
And we did notice there's an Avis and a budget car hire, just across the road next to the supermarket here, and they've got little buggies. So if you Robert didn't fancy the scooters, but you could hire like a little beach buggy.
The mini mokes,
That looks good. So we might look that up. If we came back here again, that might be another alternative again, that we would get our picnic and we'd just go off on one of those little beach buggies and just follow the road round, I think, up the coast and stop off. Nothing too adventurous, just stick to the coast.
Yes, so it's easy to find your way back again. Absolutely.
Just go up and come back down, yeah.
Now look, the middle of Noumea CBD it's not pretty. Let's face it, it's old buildings, and a lot of people get off, see that, and think, oh, Noumea, I'm not going to.
A lot of it looks a bit shut down. There's graffiti. It all looks a little bit tatty. It's not actually. The streets aren't dirty, and there's no rubbish. I will say that.
Yep.
There's no rubbish hanging
just
around.
a very short distance out of the city, and there are some beautiful places. Now, another thing as well is some people say they feel a little bit unsafe around Noumea. We've had it's Saturday today, and it's fairly quiet. We've had a good walk around. We've been around the supermarket. We've been along the Esplanade here. We've been down some of the back streets, and we've met a few people. Not once did I feel unsafe, and the people that we met were lovely. Having said that, as a tourist, always take precautions wherever you are. It doesn't really matter. And you may feel you need to take extra precautions in somewhere like Noumea, where they've had a recent civil unrest. But we've not seen any of it, and we've had no reason to be concerned while we've been here. That's our experience. It's obviously not everybody's experience. Just sharing our experience, and that's our experience of today.
We've had a thoroughly enjoyable day, and once again, the weather has held out. Always makes a difference, doesn't it?
Oh, we're going to have got some suntan today, that's for sure. It is now 3:30. The last shuttle bus back to the ship is 4:30. So I think we've almost finished. So we'll pack up our rubbish, throw it in the bin, and be responsible. Actually, some of it's just blown away. We better go and get that, and then we'll hop on the bus back to the ship. See you soon.
I'm going to go and chase this rubbish that's just blown off the table.
And just so that you can get your bearings, here is the terminal building, the old terminal building. Here are the shuttle buses. Here is the supermarket, and behind the supermarket, so you walk up the road to the right, at the end of that road, literally behind the supermarket, is the patisserie. So just before we leave to get back on the shuttle bus, I'm going to do a quick final pan around. Where I'm standing is the old terminal, the old dock. And here is the beautiful bay in Noumea. It's absolutely lovely, actually. And then the old terminal that we can see here, which is where the ships used to dock, and the old terminal building. And just beyond that, you can see the Pacific Encounter at the industrial port, which is where it is now. So you can actually see from here, it is literally just a few minutes bus ride around. In fact, we timed the bus once and it took 3 minutes, just over 3 minutes to get from the industrial port to the old port here. We are all now back on board and we are leaving Noumea. In fact, we've sailed away not too long ago for our journey back to Brisbane. We've got 2 and a bit days back to Brisbane. It's now Saturday. We arrived back on Tuesday morning. So we've got 2 sea days. Tonight is Allen night. We'll go and get ready for Allen night, and it looks to be another great night weather-wise. So looking forward to another good piano party. It is Allen night tonight up on deck 14. Unfortunately, it's just starting to rain. So, oh look, there's Al. We've got an impromptu conga line going here. Al jumped in, I'm not quite sure where she is. We'll see if we can find her. There she is. Okay, so the conga has turned into a limbo. Oh yeah! How low can you go? How low can you go?
Let's see what Robin's going to do. Is he going to go and...
Okay, we've got a bit of synchronized dancing going on here. Al's joined in as she normally does. But she seems to have got the hang of it. I can never do these kind of dances. Like, my legs just don't go the way they're supposed to be, but I'll pick them up fairly quickly. That's why she can do the line dancing and I am hopeless.
Now it's time for the guys to have a go.
I got this.
Hey, he's doing all right up to now. I think he's okay with the hand. It's only when he has to do his feet at the same time. Yeah, he's having the best time ever joining in, and he hates this kind of dancing normally, but here you go. He's having the time of his life. Celebrate good times, come on. We can try singing in tune as well.
Okay, that was our last Allen party. There will be another one, but we are not going to get on to another Allen party. So, anyway, the rain stayed off. The rain stayed off, which is brilliant.
I'm just about to say, I've got, here's my hand here. You're a bit moist on the back now. Is that all the perspiration from doing the dancing?
It is.
Or was that a little bit of rain?
No, the rain stopped.
So
the rain stopped, which is brilliant, which meant we could get some dancing.
Sweat this time. I'm caressing your sweaty back.
Anyway, let's move on.
You did do a good bit of dancing. I was proud of you.
We decided to come down to the bonded store tonight and have a little bit of something different. So, Matt and I have had a Martinez that's got chocolate and sherry and gin and vermouth. It's very nice.
The boys look like they're sitting here with their glasses of sherry, actually, like 2 old dears.
It does taste a bit like sherry.
But there's about 4 drinks in there. I think that's actually, it's fabulous value for money. That's part of the package.
You do get it on the premium package because it's $19. You have to have the top package for that to be.
But it's nice. It comes in a lovely glass, and it's busy in here tonight. You can hear it as well. It's got a really good atmosphere. It has very, very low-level music in here, so it's you can have a good tour.
Well, yeah, there's a lot of people in here, so it's a lot of chatter. So
Are we going to go off to the Blue Room, see if we can get the last of the jazz in, maybe?
I think we might have a look at the Blue Room or the encounter for the karaoke. One of those, just to finish off the night.
It's been a fabulous day.
Oh, we've had a
and
fantastic day.
We've had a ball. Absolutely
Oh,
lovely.
we've done a couple of things in Noumea. We've done things that we've not done before. We've come back, we've had the island party, which is the first island party that we've done since they brought it back on P&O. Unfortunately, it's the last island party that we're going to do.
And we thought, do you know what? We thought we'd made it to the theatre, that we were so early. We had our pick of seats.
We got the wrong
We got
theatre.
the wrong theatre. Completely empty. We were like, we're a little bit, a tad early, are we on this one? Yeah, completely got the wrong end of the ship.
Ah, you're on
So,
holiday. What the heck?
yeah,
Who
yeah.
cares?
Time to hang up the lays, I think.
I think so, actually. I think it's time to hang up the lace and call it a night. Because we've got 2 sea days. We've got Gatsby night tomorrow night. We always enjoy Gatsby night. And a few other things going on tomorrow.
Yeah,
So,
plenty to do.
absolutely. And we will show you all of those things.
Join us for tomorrow.
Absolutely.
For now, we'd like to say thank you for watching.
Oh, you
Please
go on.
like-
Run it out. Run it out.
Please like, please subscribe. Subscribing is a great way to support this channel. It
Absolutely,
really helps us.
absolutely.
Keeps Robert going here when he has hours and hours and hours of editing, all the noise and everything.
I love
else.
to see those subscriber numbers going up.
Yeah, please do. And take care, everybody. And if you're on a cruise anytime soon, have a fabulous time.
From the Pacific Encounter Hotel, we will say good night.
night.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.
Good night. Take care.
Bye
Bye-bye.
for now.
Honey, I got what you want.